Now, the Prime Minister has said that he hoped for a more ambitious agreement, but he at the same time added that we made significant progress. So can you provide some more specifics regarding this?
Sure. He's obviously, he's putting a good face on it and trying to be optimistic. He and some of the other leaders had hoped for something more definitive. But as is emerging now, there were other countries who were saying, no, these timelines are too tight. So it might sound ambitious, but I guess you'd call it aspirational. They said, we can't legislate 1.5 degrees, an increase of heat in the planet till the end of the century. So how about we say we like the idea? And how about if we can't get a date on coal emission to net zero, how about we say we like the idea of proceeding towards that? Same with the percentage of electric vehicles. So they've changed it from definitive to aspirational.
And what kind of impact do you think this change from definitive to aspirational will have on the overall fight against climate change, sir?
That's a key approach that you've just mentioned there, because there are countries that are saying this is too aggressive. There are countries that are saying, yes, we agree that we need to reduce emissions, but they're not necessarily agreed that this is what you would call a full-blown crisis, and they're concerned about their economies if they shut off all traditional approaches to energy. So in a way, it's kind of a hybrid, if we can use that word, deal to try and satisfy both sides of that equation.
And considering we had the G20 environment ministers meeting earlier this year, they arrived at an impasse at phasing out coal as well. So was this final agreement from the G20 meeting expected?
Many people would not realize that when you go into agreements like this, and I've been involved in many over the years where they're international and you're hoping to get a signing, actually, the agreement is largely settled before the leaders ever get there. You have your own officials working with officials from other countries weeks and even months ahead. So no leader is going in there with a surprise, and they will send out what they think of the wording of a communication piece even before they get there. At the last minute, you're rarely going to see a change. So this was more or less agreed on. They get together, and then they think by, seeing each other personally, they can maybe hold one another's feet to the fire. But that communique would have largely been settled even before this started.
All right, sir, just about 2 minutes left here. But another big aspect of the G20 summit was an agreement around international tax. So can you unpack the impact of this for our viewers?
This is actually very significant. The fact that you've got this many countries, and I think they've probably got over 100 countries signed on to tax agreements. And there's dispute and debate on both sides of this issue, Nima, because a lot of countries and some people, I'll include myself in that, think that taxation levels should always be a matter of national autonomy, a matter of your own country's final decisions. Sure, you're going to work on tax agreements with other countries, but to agree on a level of taxation and hold to it, it's quite formidable. And the debate rages from it keeps countries from setting up, or businesses from setting up shop with prohibitively low rates, but it also takes away some of the autonomy that comes with a country setting its own rates. Ireland, for instance, over the last few decades has been able to attract business because of very competitive tax rates. So this is a very significant move. Countries, in a way, are signing away their autonomy when it comes to some of their federal tax levels.
All right, sir, just about a minute left here, but let's jump from G20 to the COP26 summit occurring right now. What kind of impact do you think the G20 will have on the climate conference so far?
It is going to have some impact. Already some are saying they're using maybe a Halloween reference, but, talking about the fact that the G20 was really what you might call a dress rehearsal for Glasgow, and people starting to stake out their positions. So there should be no surprises as people arrive now. They've already stated what they want. So it is going to have some effect, I think a significant effect. It'll take the pressure off of those who didn't want to actually be signing deals that would make a difference or possibly hurt them. It also gives them some room to move when you consider the fact that China is not involved at all. Russia is not involved at all. Mm-hmm. So you've got a huge producer and a huge emitter not even showing up. So it's going to set the stage for some tough discussions.